Good.
Yes, sir.
It's the latter episode, Trace, if you Espanol. You know what I'm saying? Alright, we in here. It's episode 3. I'm back. I'm your host, Justin Strickland. This is my guy, Sylvester. Still no good.
Still Carter.
Isaiah, if you know him, he's back. Back-to-back episodes. That means you're more famous than me now.
That's fair.
That's what that means.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I think you deserve it. So I'm excited to get into this episode. Last episode was crazy. You dropped some gems. I learned a lot. And so I was so happy. I was like, I got to bring them back. And if you notice, we have the same clothes on, so I was like, don't leave. We can do it now. So we just recorded back to back, you know what I'm saying? For real, back to back episodes. We ain't faking.
Right.
All right, so let's get into it. Today, we're going to talk about knowing what you want. So I want to ask you, when was the moment that it clicked that you knew what you wanted?
Probably I was 11 years old.
Okay.
I wrote a letter to my teacher.
Yeah. So this would have been like 6th grade?
This is like 6th grade.
Okay.
This is an awful story. I don't want.
So you was at Christ the King?
No, I was at Muncie.
Muncie. You was at Muncie. Okay.
Yeah. But I wrote a letter to my teacher. Oh, and like I said, advisory. Don't teach this to your kids. This is just a true story that we going with.
So we just being honest.
Yeah, we just being
like,
honest.
This is like the Bible. Like some stuff is narrative, some stuff is prescriptive. This is narrative. This just happened.
Right.
Okay.
And I wrote a letter to my teacher saying, "Yo, I don't want to do school. I'm not going to do school."
So
I said, this is 11. I said, if I could just get a C and skate by, I'm cool. Like, that's it. And from 11 to now, I remember I walked in on you doing homework, and I broke out in hives. Homework. How do you do that? Like,
you don't need homework to get a C.
I'm right.
You can get C without ever doing homework.
No, and then so yeah, it was when I decided that's not what I wanted.
Okay.
When I finally decided I did want to do something, it was like everybody else in USD 500. we got
our backs, son. We got our back. I'm a rapper, guys. So many groups started. Shout out to the grant the USD 500 got. Started many rap careers, producer careers, beat career. It's gonna be the genesis of something amazing. We're all gonna point back to that year where they gave us a Mac laptop to do schoolwork, mind. But no schoolwork was done because they came with GarageBand.
Tiger said, "F school, I'm a rapper, dog."
That's it was. We recorded people's basements.
Like, doing everything,
bruh.
Nah, and what I would do is I would just sit on GarageBand.
Yeah, you should just play with the
and
stuff.
just play with it. And so I think I took a break from it. Like from 14 to 16, I was on it non-stop, just trying to see what it does, what all I can do with my voice. And I would just play with it, whether it be at school, at home, at church, just everywhere. Like we would really just experiment with it.
Yeah, I remember I used to always be too loud.
Right.
I yell on the mic. I just liked yelling.
Right, and I want to say I ended up going to a different school when I turned 16. I went to Park Hill. Wasn't no more laptops.
Wasn't no more Macs.
And so a decision was made. Do I still want to keep doing music? And so later on that year, I ended up getting a mic, and then we just made a studio in my parents' basement.
Yeah.
And that turned into almost a career. And then, let's see, I turned, 20? And we decided, we're all in on it.
Yeah.
Let's make an album and go on tour.
Yeah.
We made an album. We started touring across the country. Not even across the country, across the Midwest. Let me say that right. So we ended up going to Minneapolis, Omaha, OKC, St. Louis. Just to name,
to Denver, right?
Yeah, we went to a few places just to push this music, and that was when I knew, okay, I can really do this.
I could do this, yeah.
Yeah, and then God got a hold of my life.
Funny how he be giving you a taste and be like, nope, not yet.
Nope, not yet.
Not yet.
God got a hold of my life, and he showed me that my identity should be in him more so than the music. Where my identity was in this music. I didn't know nothing else. Like all of my skills were in this music. Next thing you know, I find myself having a family.
Yeah.
And then I find
somebody baby daddy.
Somebody husband.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No, but and then I put just my all into God, and then God opened the door for me to get back into doing music again. Yeah. And so
and it's crazy how that works, right?
Right. And I'm making
talent, and then you think you about to use them, and he be like, not yet.
And so it was just perfect. Because I'm making some of the best music, some of the most profound music that I've ever made.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Right.
We're going to be the first to know. Hey, I put him on blast. This on recording. He can't release it until we get a preview.
Right.
All right? So everybody know, we watching. Steel's going to do a preview here on the ladder. All right. But, no, I think that's a good point. I think that story is amazing. I think who it reminds me of is David. Right? Like David... and it wasn't David knew what he wanted. He was told what he wanted, right?
Right.
The prophet came and said, "You are king," and they was like, "Cool, I want to be that."
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
In 20 years, like
right,
like David don't just walk into the palace after he knows what he wanted. Like he's in caves. David had to act like he was insane. Like they say it was like literally slobbering. Like he was acting crazy. This dude knew he wanted to be king, knew he'd been anointed king, but he wasn't ready yet. It wasn't the time yet. Since you know what you've wanted, how has that affected your decision making?
That's actually a really good question that I've never necessarily thought about, simply because I've always known what I wanted, so I do everything based off of that.
Like that.
Yeah, okay. And so it's almost at this point specifically second nature. Like I used to, like as much as people don't want to get 9 to 5s. One, I got bills, but two, I got to fund this because music. Yeah. Depending on how you approach it, can be very expensive, and how I'm approaching it is very expensive. And so my 9 to 5, it goes towards
it's
that.
An investment.
My time at my 9 to 5, even like I spent because my job is very laxy daisy. It's just we chilling. Yeah. So I'm at work. If I ain't reading the Bible, I'm writing music. If I ain't humming a beat, trying to figure out what go on it, I'm reading the Bible. Yeah. Like it comes down to that. Like even what's another one?
I'm gonna let you come up with that. I'm gonna think about that because, like for me, I think I made a decision. Let's say I was 20. I was 20. I was about to get married, and I ended up working in a call center. I was working in a call center for Enterprise. And I wasn't working for Enterprise. I was doing surveys for Enterprise. Bro, I can't make this stuff up. This is a true story. And I remember me sitting in my cubicle and falling asleep on the call. And my supervisor stopping my next call and getting on my mic and was like, "Hey man, was you sleep?" It was a lady. She was like, "Were you sleep, Justin?" And I said, "Honestly, I don't remember." I don't remember. I possibly could have been asleep, but I can't confirm that because I don't know.
Man.
And I remember leaving, and we went and got married, and they knew I was getting married, so I took that off, and I just never went back. I ain't put no 2 weeks in, and I just knew at that point, I can't do that.
I've done that before.
Like, I can't do that.
I've done that before.
I knew at that point, I knew I wanted to work for myself. I knew I wanted to work for myself. And I think for me, I've taken a different route than you. Like where you see 9 to 5 as investments, I see them as
obstacles.
Obstacles, yeah. Like I be ducking and dodging 9 to 5. But I think that now I'm at the point where I've turned the corner to see them as investment. And I think that is so important. Like we talked about last episode, I looked up to E.T. And one thing that he did in his story, I read his story, I really love his story. He was a professor at Michigan State. And he had started speaking while he was a professor at Michigan State. And he didn't right away leave Michigan State. Like he was doing engagements on the weekends, doing engagements at Michigan State, in and around the area. And it wasn't until he was like, okay, I can support my family with this. I can pour into it. And he was still leaving some stuff on the table. He was leaving some benefits, he was leaving some money. But he was like, if I pour it into this, I can trust this, I can make this work. And I think for me, I've never waited for that moment.
I mean,
for me, it's been like, if I just do it, it'll work. And like, and there's been some trouble with that. There's been some struggles with that.
Oh yeah.
And so I've wised up. I've lost some, which is good. Like I think failure is a part of your success, right?
Oh yeah.
And so I've lost some, but at the same time, I think it was figuring. I knew what I wanted, but I had to figure out what was the best way to pursue it. Was the thing for me.
I know. Just to put it out there, when you bet on yourself, you're always going to be leaving something on the table.
Yeah.
Simply because, you know what you're worth, but your situation at the moment might not say that.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, and I thought about it. Another thing that I put in is how I prioritize my time.
Yeah. That's big. That's big.
Like it can be something as simple as, also I gotta weigh the odds because I got a family.
Yes.
So I got to know, okay, when am I putting my family first? If my family ain't doing nothing but chilling at home, guess what? I can say we can spend quality time, or I can go to the studio. And if my wife is cool with it, my baby don't need nothing at the moment, I'm going to the studio.
Yeah.
Like even sometimes I had the time at work and like I got PTO. Well, I'm calling in today. I'm going to the studio. Yeah. Like it's been like that before. Yeah. Now, I've also quit jobs because of it too. Like I've been foolish about it a few different times. But at this point, like I said, because I have a family, I can't afford to move foolishly like I used to. Yeah. When it was just me, a job.
But I need a job.
Whatever. Man, right. Money.
You need a job for money, right? Because you don't make any doing this. No, that's real.
But yeah, it is what it is. And where I know before I had the luxury of just a whole lot of time. Now I don't have that luxury of time. So I have to learn how to prioritize my time. Yeah.
And I think for me, that's the biggest thing, right? When you know what you want, you prioritize your time. Like I talk to people all the time about the importance of reading. I'm reading. I'm reading all the time. Audio books. I'm reading actual books. I'm listening to people talk about books. I'm listening to podcasts. Like I'm trying to get information all the time. And I talk to people who don't have the best portfolio in the world, wealthy, you know what I'm saying, time. And I'm like, yo, you gotta read. And they're like, I don't like reading, or I ain't got time. But on the flip side, I hear Warren Buffett talk, and he says,
he only reads.
When I'm not reading, I'm making time in my schedule so that I can get back to reading. And that quote always stuck with me, because it was like, I feel like what you do when you have all the time in the world is more telling of who you are than when you don't have any time. Right. Right? Because Warren Buffett can literally do whatever he wants. Right. Like, he's made, he can do whatever he wants. And he's decided that the most important thing he can do is read.
And ain't he in his 80s?
Yeah.
So it speaks volume that even in your 80s, you're still educating yourself. Wow. You're still learning. Wow. And like that is so cold to me. Wow. Simply because I just got back into the point where I want to just read all the time. Like I really don't even watch TV anymore. Yeah. Simply because I'm trying to take in all information, and it's just like when I watch TV, I mean, minus like the shows that I look forward to actually watching, like where I waited all year to watch this show. I'm going to watch it, but even then, I have to process what information I want to take in versus what I need to just leave on the table. Like, what is it? Just even YouTube videos, like even music. I haven't been necessarily inspired by music, like just the music that comes out, simply because of how intricate I write about myself.
Yeah.
I need to make sure that the message that I'm giving out, one, is articulate, but two, is the message that I want to be relaying. And the only way for me to do that is to be constantly taking in things, be constantly taking in information, and then also practicing giving out that information, like just articulating that in day-to-day conversation.
To like, making sure you know exactly what you're saying, you know what you're thinking. It's just like writing it down, right? Like talking about it's like writing it down. Like, oh, that sounded way better in my head.
Right.
I thought that was a complete concept before I told you that, but now I realize that that's only half a sentence.
Yeah, it's not even done.
I have to think about that some more.
And I know
go back to the drawing board.
You told me something on the phone the other day that I've really been getting into, and you, like, I was asking you, it's one of the theological conversations we be having sometimes.
You should.
Yeah. And we were talking about it, and I was like, well, how do you explain this, that, and the third? And you told me to write it down.
Yeah. And
I have never been one to write anything down. I don't have to. Like, I've always been, my memory is just this. I'm writing stuff down for it. You got to write stuff down? Loser. Like
note-taking loser.
Right. It's like, what? Right. And I was like, well, I ain't never tried that. Well, let me write it down. Started writing stuff down, and it helps so much. Like, whether it be a plan, whether I'm just trying to get information out of my head, like it just being in my head, because I have so many thoughts just going in and out. It's hard to decipher. Okay, this is a plan. This is a good idea. This is just something that was going through your head. Like you got to decipher all this stuff. So now I'm like, let me write this down. That sounds profound. Okay, cool. Like you said, that's only a half a thought. Let's finish it. Now I got something to work with.
Yeah.
And and once you like write stuff down, it like it creates a foundation.
It does.
And it's just perfect.
Yeah, it does. Stuff flows better. Like stuff flows better. I think that like I learned it from my mother. Right? She's an author. She always wrote. She's been writing. She's published a book, got 2 more coming out, and what I learned from her is like when you write things down, 2 things happen. You see them and read them, which you can't do when you think about it. Right? And then the second thing that's happened is they become permanent. And so like it was yesterday, I was cleaning up, I found like 3 journals, and I was just flipping through them, and stuff that I had wrote down was still there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was permanent.
Right.
I wrote it down 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, some of this stuff is true. Like, some of the stuff I was praying, some of the stuff I was hoping, some of the stuff I was planning for, it's real. And like, if I hadn't wrote it down, those thoughts are gone. I haven't thought about those things in a long time. But because I wrote them down, they're permanent, and I can go back to them, and I find energy from that. I find motivation from that. I find like satisfaction from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, look back like, oh wow, I was at this point and I wanted to be here. I wrote it down, and now I can look back and say, wow, I actually did that. God did that, really. Like, for me, it's like, wow, I didn't have no plans to get here. I just wanted to be here.
Right.
And God made it happen.
And it's interesting that you look at it that way. It really brings me to story in Genesis. Was it Genesis 12? When Abraham, as he was moving as God told him to, he would build an altar where he was at, and really, it just seems like that. It was a reminder. It was a checkpoint. Like I did what you told me to do. I came here. Let me just stop and take the time to acknowledge the fact that I'm here now. And so like it's I can dig.
Yeah, no,
I can dig, dude.
That's like, and that's what legacy is, right? Like, legacy is leaving things that last longer than you.
Right.
Like you talked about last episode, you talked about Jesus at the well.
Mm-hmm.
Was that off camera?
That was probably off.
That was off camera. So we talking about Jesus at the well, and what's crazy about that story is that's Jacob's well from Genesis.
Huh.
And Jesus is at this same well. Jacob built that well in Genesis.
Wow.
We talking about thousands of years before Jesus got there.
Right.
But that's a legacy. Woman of the well says, this is Jacob. Our forefather built this well, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
That's a legacy. Jacob been gone.
Hey.
But his legacy lives on.
That's cold.
And that's like, for me, I'm at the point in my life where I'm all legacy focused.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you talking about knowing what you want, I want a legacy. That's what I want.
Oh, yeah.
I want an imprint on the earth where it's like, this person said yes to Jesus, and in his yes, lives will change.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that looks like. For
Right.
me, I'm not putting myself in a box, right? Like, I'll write books, I'll make podcasts, I'll preach, I'll speak, I'll plant churches, I'll coach basketball. Like, whatever that looks like, I'm going to do it. I'm for it.
Right.
Because, like, and I think this is something new, too. It's like, we try to make it like you only can do one thing.
Right.
Like, we do. We say, hey, you need to focus. You need to focus. You need to focus. But when I look at people that used to be great, like, I'll read their stories, like, they did a lot of different stuff. Like, you got Michelangelo. He was an inventor, a painter, an architect, a sculptor. You know what I'm saying? You got, like, Albert Einstein. He was a chemist, biologist, like, physicist. Like, these dudes, they never, Martin Luther King Jr., preacher, pastor, speaker, civil rights activist, author, father. Like, these dudes were doing multiple things because they knew that's how you leave a legacy.
Right. I was actually telling who was it? Well, I wasn't telling them nothing. We was just having a conversation about it. I was talking to Kamal, and he was, and you know, we shooting it up, like just talking about anything, and then somehow the conversation led to just marketing. Yeah. Once again, and we was talking about, look,
I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be better.
If the foundation is music, no matter if you do a podcast, if you do an interview, if you do this, that, and the third, everything is supposed to lead back to the music.
Yep.
And it's the message that you want to give out.
Yep.
And if this is the specific message, you're never going to leave the music, but you can still do everything under the sun.
It's true.
Like,
it's true.
You can still do it. Like, you're not gonna stop being good at something if you've always been good at it. However, establish something as your foundation so that when I do this, you can still come back to this. And that's really how you make money off of it as well.
It is. Like, that's true. I mean,
I've always said this. It's not what you do. It's not getting somebody to click on something once. It's getting them to click on it twice. Yeah. If I can get you to click on everything I do twice, just to bring you back to the initial message that I said, you're going to always be following the message that I'm giving out.
Good.
And that's
good.
That is so just dope.
Yeah.
Like, that's dope.
That's it. I mean, if it touch you enough where you're like, I need to hear that again, that's good, man.
Right.
That's some good information. So remember, after you watch, hit it again. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's a shameless plug. Yeah. Just so you know. Rewatch. Share with a friend. Right. So, but no, that's good. I think that comes back to knowing what you want, right? So, like, for me, my foundation is Christ. And so what I want is to glorify Christ. Right. And so everything I do is rooted in that. So no matter what you see me doing, you're going to be drawn back to that foundation. Right. And I think that was the clearest thing for me. Like, that changed my life. When I realized, like, when Jesus took basketball, I was like, hey, that's your idol. Like, I know last time you talked about music. For me, it was hoops. Like, that's your idol. And he was like, but if you give it to me, I might give it back. And I gave it to Jesus, and he gave it back. And then I realized, this ain't enough. Right? And that was crazy. That was the craziest part for me. It's like, oh, this ain't enough. I got so much. I used to say, always say, it's so crazy. I haven't said it in about a year and a half. But people used to come up to me that hadn't seen me in a while. Like, hey, man, you still hooping? I'm like, I don't know what else I'm going to do. Yeah. That used to be my response. Yeah. Are you still hooping? What else I'm going to do?
I understand.
I'm a hooper. What else I'm going to do?
I understand.
Well, I'm going to do podcasts. I'm going to write books. I'm a coach. I'm going to preach. I'm a pastor. I'm a husband. I'm a mentor. So like, I was putting myself in a box where I didn't have to.
Right.
Like, I didn't have to. I could just live it all. And I still hand buckets out. Check your rec league. But like, the fact of the matter being like, I did not have to put myself in that box. And when I opened the box, everything made so much more sense. I had so much more peace. I had so much more freedom to just do me.
And that's another thing me and Kamal found ourselves talking about, especially just like me towards him, is where are you laying your identity? Yeah. Where's the foundation? Yeah. Just like I said, where's your identity in? Yeah. And as long as you know where your identity is, that's as far as you're gonna go. So if you place your identity in something infinite, the possibilities are endless.
Come on, man. All right.
The possibilities
write that down. Say that again. Say that again. Come on. Run that back.
I'll try to paraphrase.
Run that back. Run that back.
No, but if you place your identity in something that's finite, the possibilities have a limit. If you place your identity in something that is eternal, that is infinite, the possibilities are limitless.
That's like crazy. Whoa, that's good. We're gonna stop it there. That's
okay,
good.
Okay.
So this has been an episode of the Ladder, episode 3. Trace for the Espanols.
Okay, numero trace.
Yes, for the essays, the senors and
some of y'all think it's nombre. That's just name. Numero
trace. See. So shout out your socials.
At Still No Good, Twitter, Instagram. I'm not on Snapchat. Don't even try to look for me. I already told you I'm not adding you on Facebook. Don't do that as well. But like I said, at Still No Good, that's SYLNOGOOD. Yep.
Yeah, and you can follow the Ladder on Hope NKC on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube. It's helping others pursue excellence. That's where we are. If you loved it, hit subscribe. If you liked it, hit thumbs up. And if you want more, hit that notification.
Also, leave comments. We appreciate that as well.
I've been forgetting them. Please put comments, because I'm going to read them. Yeah, and I hope they're good.
If you got questions, we'll respond.
Yeah. What y'all want to talk about? Because this is a conversation. It's only the beginning. Right. And I'm happy, man. Thank you so much coming out, Sil. It's been real. And we out.